is the True Real Estate 911 podcast with Lisa Treu. Lisa will share up-to-date real estate information with you that you need to know.
Welcome to True Real Estate 911. It's Brian Mudd, along with your local real estate pro, Lisa Treu. We have a guest for you today that's going to help you save some money and also help make your life a little bit easier. You know, there are so many misconceptions when it comes to owning a home, when it comes to insurance products. We're going to cut through some of the noise and already can tell you that you're going to have some real helpful takeaways that you'll be able to implement that can save you hundreds, who knows, maybe thousands of dollars. Now, before we get going, if you're not already at True Real Estate 911, go there because the Treus, well, they are the best local resource you're going to find for real estate. When you go to TrueRealEstate911.com, you'll see why. The ability to search the MLS in real time, like a real estate pro, for example. You'll have all kinds of helpful tools and resources that Treus have provided, including calculators, videos, and they always have the latest information. And then, well, let's say you want to talk to somebody. Okay, they're ready to help. 7 days a week, the Treus, they're working for you. So reach out to them, 561-972-8326. Buying, selling questions, 561-972-8326. Lisa, I get these questions frequently, and I've had people even ask me to ask you, the local real estate market. Some folks got nervous. Some of the information coming out looks different. One thing that it was not lost on me, Federal Reserve last week ended up saying, you know what? I don't think we're going to do any more rate increases for the foreseeable. And right away, I saw mortgage rates take a dive. That if you know nothing else about real estate, you should know that's probably pretty good news. What are your thoughts?
It's perfect timing. I mean, it is the start of our summer selling season, which most people that are buying at that point, they are getting a mortgage. And obviously they're payment driven. And so to save a little bit on interest rates was exceptionally wonderful timing. And it just, I think if you were trying to buy a home last year and got frustrated, it is your time with lower interest rates and more options right now in the market.
Now, the last we were talking, you are identifying some of those real buyers markets. We haven't been used to that except for in luxury, but you had actually been indicating, hey, even in some affordable housing price points, there had been buyers markets emerging. Is that still the case?
Well, we were speculating that obviously the government shutdown was impacting us a little bit in January, and that's exactly what happened. Now, there's still great opportunities. It just bounced back a little bit. So it's almost feeling a lot more neutral-like. So sellers can sell, buyers can buy, but no one's winning at a high level in that middle price point. Everybody can get in the game, though. And that's the exciting part is everybody can do what they want to do. Sellers can move and buyers can move into homes where before it was favoring one side or the other. And we're seeing it a very favorable time for both buyers and sellers in the marketplace this spring.
Lisa, I think the April Fool's joke this year is that it's about April already. So with that being the case, if folks are looking to make a real estate decision this summer, is now the time that we need to be working on that?
Oh, we need to be talking now. If you want to be moving this summer, if you have a single family home or you want to buy a single family home, this is the time. And I know summer seems so far away, and yet, let's face it, it's right around the corner. As you said, we're at April at this point. Now we're sitting here, 30 days to close, 45 days to close. We're going into May, and it'll be time to pack and move. So it is definitely the time to make the phone call. Let's get started and get the process going.
All right, good stuff. Now, one thing that I always enjoy doing is learning. And when I'm learning something that helps save money too, that's a win-win right there. And so joining us today from Stonebridge Insurance Agency, the owner, Amanda Castorino. Lisa, before we speak with Amanda, tell me a little bit about why you are partnering and working with Stonebridge.
Well, one of the things that we love is when we kind of accidentally find a great company. It usually comes from either another great company or a client that introduces us to someone. And what I love about Amanda is she understands this is not a 9-to-5 job. She's available and she is solution orientated, which I really love. We've had insurance challenges in the past with other companies where people just aren't taken care of. And that's never the case with Amanda. She gives you an honest opinion. We just had a scenario where she looked at a policy that someone else had provided, not her company. And Amanda went, that's a great policy. And you should take that one. And for me, knowing that about Amanda, I never have to worry that she's going to put herself in front of my clients. And to me, that is the
good
number.
Business.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's being a great human being. And we like doing business with companies like that we know we can trust them and they're human, but they're going to always do their best and be honest.
All right, and we do have Amanda Sims Castorino joining us now from Stonebridge Insurance Agency. And Amanda, Lisa's endorsement does not come lightly. She doesn't just partner with anybody. So tell us a little bit about your agency and why it is that you go about your business the way that you do, which sounds counter to the way that a lot of insurance agencies work.
Well, thank you. My name's Amanda. I've been an insurance agent here for 17 years in South Florida. I'm actually a native Floridian too.
Oh, wow. You're that person.
Yes, I'm that person. And I'm a second generation agent. So I have to say I was taught by my father. You know, you just treat people right. What goes around comes around. And it's just in the person that I am to do what's right because people will remember that. It's more important than making that one sale. It really is.
That's a good point. And, you know, as Lisa's pointed out, about half their business is built on repeat customers and referrals. And I'm sure that you're second generation in the industry. It's the same deal for you. Now, you, before we even get started today, were telling me some things that were pretty cool because there are a lot of misconceptions people probably have about insurance policies and what can help save money, especially if they're prioritizing projects. So first things first, I mean, you do note that the newer the home, the lower the premium. That makes sense. What are some things that people might be surprised to know about the home insurance market today?
They're definitely surprised with pricing and how a roof can affect the pricing. The roof holds a huge premium amount. The newer the roof, the magic year in Palm Beach County is 2002. Okay. 2002 is when hurricane codes change, building codes change. So any roof that's going to be on a home 2002 and newer is going to save a lot of money on your premium. Okay,
and I know that it's going to be highly subjective to the specific property, but what's the difference? If you could ballpark it between on a similar property. The best outcome and the type of roof versus one that is going to end up netting you the highest premium?
It could be thousands of dollars.
Wow. That's pretty remarkable. What type of roof or what types are the ones that are most efficient from an insurance standpoint?
It doesn't matter the type in terms of shingle, tile, metal. All of those are going to equal the same premium discount.
Okay.
It's how it's strapped. It's how it's actually constructed onto the building.
All right, Lisa, I'm hearing Amanda talk about, some of these details. I am remembering back working with you and Steve and nuances like that you'd pick up on and say, hey, consider this, think about this. And beyond just going, okay, here's a home and, here's what's inside and, here's the yard, here's the neighborhood. I mean, you guys really take into account these types of things, and we don't have to be the experts in all this, right? I mean, you'll help guide us through this process.
It's one of the benefits of working with our company because we are a team of experts. Steve has, many don't know this, but Steve actually has a construction degree. He built big stuff here in Palm Beach County for many years, and before he joined me in our real estate career many, many years ago. And that is so helpful because I love when I hear him talking to Amanda. They're in these great conversations in there. And number one, what I love about it is I don't have to be involved in it because Steve's got it, right? Yep. And they speak the language, right? They're able to have conversations that maybe Amanda couldn't have with other agents or at that level. And so Steve can really help with not just, this is the right home, like you said, but these are the things you need to consider, especially when you have somebody who's tight on the ratios and the money end. Things like insurance sometimes can be that tipping point of can that buyer qualify for that home because the insurance is going to be out of whack compared to maybe another home that has a newer roof, as an example.
Amanda, what are some of the other factors that come into play that can really make the difference in an insurance premium?
You can look at hurricane shutters. Hurricane shutters being impact glass. Hurricane shutters, there's actually hurricane fabric. That's a new product that's out.
Yep.
Your old standard metal hurricane shutters that you put up, that will absolutely make a difference in your premium. But that's not the end-all be-all of everything. There's a lot of different things that you can look at. You look at the coverages, what your family needs and what his family needs and her family needs. It can be different from one end of the spectrum to the other. It's not a cookie-cutter situation. Here, go buy insurance, and this is the price end of day. Have the conversation with your agent. Let that agent understand your family and what your family's needs are, because it's not the same across the board. And why are you paying for something if you don't need it? It's a way to save money.
And Amanda, one of the things that we see often, people will end up going with the company at one moment in time and just writing with them in perpetuity. A lot of people, especially with the variances we've seen in insurance premiums and the changing market over the past decade or so, I think a lot of people don't realize that they might end up being paying on things they don't need to be paying on. Maybe haven't realized discounts on things that you're talking about. Maybe they have added shutters or added impact windows or even the new fabric, as the case may be. How often do you come across that?
All the time. It's constant. People don't realize. I mean, they put an alarm system in.
Yep.
It's not a lot, but it's a discount. You live in a gated community. That's another discount. Your age could be another discount. There are a lot of different things.
What's a good age for a home insurance policy?
Well, the older the better. That's what it is. That's what it is.
And there's a thing about maturity, right? All right, so this is all good information. And when you're talking about somebody, the difference in the policy, sometimes people are like, they're all going to be the same. From one company to another, how much of a variance can there potentially be these days?
Huge, thousands. Some companies specialize in a particular area, a particular age of the home. So one home on one carrier could be $5,000 and the next carrier could be $2,000, because these carriers want a specific home to insure or a specific location to insure. And sometimes South Florida, call a spade, we live in Hurricane Central. Hurricanes are going to hit us. They may not want their exposure down here in South Florida. So the premiums would be driven up higher to push them out of wanting to buy a policy with them.
Lisa, part of working with you, it's always been a complete experience. You're talking earlier, it's not just about here's a home. You'll help give us information that can be beneficial in making cost determinations, even when we're considering properties, but also being able to help us with partners so that, we are able to realize value. It's pretty overwhelming experience for a lot of people, even if it's not a first time, buyer that, you're moving everything, you got to account for all these products, everything else. So the importance of understanding the costs from an insurance standpoint. We haven't had these conversations so much in recent years. I know during the recession, every dollar people are studying. How important is it becoming, again, as we are seeing many people stretched on real estate prices in the Palm Beaches?
Well, I think it should always be important. And one of the kind of challenges I'm having for myself is how much wealth or how much money can I free up so I can create more wealth? Mm-hmm. So I was telling Amanda, if they could save a little bit of money instead of taking and just not paying attention to what maybe a credit would be or what they could do to lower their insurance costs, if they go ahead and save that money and take that money and either put it in a savings account or pay it down on their mortgage, that would pay their mortgage off faster. So for me, it's about not what you save. What do you save so you can do something that is meaningful? And we're doing that right now in our business. And I'm not a big person that likes to talk about numbers and debt and paying things off and cutting expenses. And yet it's become fun because now it's not about cutting expenses. It's about creating wealth.
Steve and I are getting to you, Lisa, is what's happening.
I know. It's taken a long time. It's taken a long time.
And you probably saw me smirking, but if you're tempted to put money in a savings account, that's a different show and a different conversation, but get in touch with me and I'll help you there too.
Yes. But here's the thing. I want people to be able to have money so that they can maybe go buy an investment.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Just put it somewhere that's safe, that's short term, and let us help you find the investment. The one thing mistakes I'm seeing with insurance, and I'd love to have Amanda's feedback on this, is somebody lives there, it's their primary home. Then they move out. It's vacant. Or they move out and they put a tenant in. My first question is, have you consulted with, I'm not an insurance expert, have you consulted with your insurance expert? And many of them look at me like, what do they need to know for? I think probably they should be consulting. Is that something that they should be doing?
100%. When you move out and you leave a home vacant or it's tenanted as opposed to being a primary, it's a completely different type of policy. It's not your standard homeowner policy. It actually needs to be converted into a different type of policy. And the fear is that because you haven't disclosed this to your insurance company, if a claim happens, they could come back and say, well, you never told us it's been sitting vacant for 6 months. We're not going to cover that water loss. No one was there to visit the house. Nobody was checking in on the house. So it's very important. When you change, when your risk changes, when something changes, you involve your insurance agent. Absolutely.
And Amanda, something else that I think a lot of people kind of get used to with an insurance company and a particular insurance policy. Well, the deductibles are X, and we're just going to leave it as it was. There are so many different options that are available that didn't used to be available in today's insurance market. Tell us a little bit about the difference in deductible levels and how that can influence the policy cost.
Well, you have two main deductibles, one for your hurricane and one for everything else, your water, your fire, your theft claims.
So the wind mitigation and then everything else to do with the structure.
Correct.
Okay.
So you've got two different deductibles. Well, when you have a loan or a mortgage that's in place, they have a maximum that they will allow. So, and I know those maximums, it's standard, industry standard, and you can adjust your either windstorm deductible or your all other peril is what it's called, AOP deductible, up to the max if you prefer. I think wind deductibles getting a little high is a little risky because they could be tens of thousands of dollars, where your all other peril deductible, $5,000 is the cap. It's not that bad of a deductible. If something happens in your house, take care of the first $5,000. It's been saving you $500 over the past, do the math, 10 years. It pays for itself at times.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And the one other thing, since we have you in the state session right now, there is a lot of conversation, spoken with CFO Jimmy Petronis about it just this within the past week, the assignment of benefits.
Yes.
How important is reform on that issue?
It is huge. We are paying more because it has not been reformed. There is a lot of fraud. Besides hurricanes, the number one other claim that we see here is water claims, pipe in the wall burst, water damage. And what happens is a lot of clients will sign over their rights, which is called an AOB, assignment of benefits, and they will then allow the contractor to collect the premium right from the insurance carrier. There has been so much fraud in that situation because of the language that guess who's paying the bill at the end of the day? All of us, the consumers. It trickles down. There's a huge talk and a huge push right now going on, and some positive words have been said. So crossing our fingers, there should be some hopeful reform coming soon with it.
Yeah, or there will be some bloodletting coming out of the state session from nobody else but me. I have a feeling we'll get it done, though. Lisa, final thoughts.
Well, if you own a home, if you're thinking of buying a home, or you own a car, you might be able to save money or make sure at least you have the proper coverage by reaching out to Amanda. And everybody listening should take action. Just consult with her. You may learn something. You may learn that you have great coverage and a great policy. And if that's the case, she'll tell you that. You may learn that you've been overpaying or underprotected. That's the one thing that Steve and I are learning, is that maybe we needed our insurance structured a little differently. And so having that confidence, and I'm confident in saying, call Amanda and, just check it out. Have that kind of peace of mind that you're covered in case of an event and that you're not wasting money, so that you can then either pay down your mortgage. I know you're a big advocate of that, Brian.
For sure.
Paying down that mortgage faster. Or if you're in a great situation, start buying investments. It's a great way to build your wealth.
All right, great information, and the Treu's always ready to help you. Even if you want to get in touch with Amanda, the Treu's can point you in the right direction right away. So if you're not already there, go to TrueRealEstate911.com. That's TrueRealEstate911.com. Or if you need to have a conversation, that's great too. Treu's always ready to help 7 days a week, 561-972-8326. That's 561-972-8326. I'm Brian Mudd for Lisa Treu, and our guest this week, Amanda Castorino of the Stonebridge Insurance Agency. We'll see you next time.